Okay, are we live? Okay, cool. We're doing a late night one. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. I should just let you guys know that this is going to be a very short live stream, probably about a half hour or so, because I have some things to do in a half hour, but I want to give you guys at least a little bit of something. So just a couple of things to let you guys know. Part 3 is getting there. Like, you're getting there. It's still going on. I'm not worried about a release date right now, but the effects work is essentially being worked on and so on. So things are going right. So yeah, this, again, very short live stream. Only gonna be about a half hour because I've got some things I gotta do tonight. But I'm also prepping for Comic-Con this weekend. So if you guys want to go check it out, link down below if you want tickets. I'm gonna be there with a couple other people. But yeah, just things are going good. So we're just going to do a quick little live stream. And also want to just give you guys, I want to get some brainstorming ideas from you guys in terms of streaming, because I do want to get back on it. It's just more about timing and everything, but I do want to throw some ideas I've thought of. I definitely want to keep doing Q&A live streams. That's a given. I've thought about doing essentially more gaming streams. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a test tonight. Like, I'm not going to actually stream, but I'm going to do some new test runs with some new equipment. And I'm thinking I want to maybe I want to start playing some games again, because I've been getting back into playing video games and so on as I work and edit and do other things. But okay, question. Do you guys want me to play this? Just let me know if you want me to play that. I'll play Stick of Truth as sort of my first game as a comeback, because I haven't played that in a while. But I've got some ideas of what I could do. And I also have been considering doing essentially live watch parties. Let me know what you guys think about that. I want to do maybe some watch parties and stuff over the summer, but yeah, I've just got some ideas on that. Let me know what you guys think, because I think I could probably have something set up. I've also thought about really finally getting into Twitch. Let me know if you guys want me to get into Twitch. So there's that. But yeah, just again, very short live stream. Only going to be a half hour, 45 minutes, because I got to get going around 11 o'clock. It's also really late. So there's that. Yeah. So thoughts on a couple of movies from Sammy T. Says Swan Princess, least favorite anime, and the Canadian cartoon that shall not be named. The Canadian cartoon that shall not be named, I fucking hate that little shit. Thoughts on the Swan Princess? I like the first one. Didn't care much for the sequels. And least favorite anime, don't really have one. Except, okay, you know what? It's one I brought up in part 2. It's not really an anime, but it's a game. I'm not a big fan of Genshin Impact. I think that has the most toxic fan base imaginable. So there's that. There's 3 questions from that. I'm good, Isaac Rook. Good to see you on the stream. Also, exactly 1 year from today, Godzilla and Cole will be sharing. Oh, nice! Yeah, it comes out a year from now. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on that. We'll probably get a trailer in December, hopefully. That is if Warner Brothers doesn't yank us around. Have you thought about reviewing Watchmen from 2009? Says Cartman. Oh, hi, Eric. I've thought about it. It's not something I like Watchmen. It's probably the best Zack Snyder film, but it's not really something. Superhero movies are very picky for me when it comes to reviews. So I'm thinking about that. I'm even thinking maybe The Flash I'll talk about at some point. Hey, Jack, I wanted to ask if it was okay to use some of your footage for my video I'm making. It's all good fun as a meme, still in the work as a monkey month filled with so much content. Okay, so the best thing you could do, depending on that situation. Okay, so here's the thing with the footage I use and with my content. I don't mind people using it. I should make that very clear. As long as you're doing like a YouTube poop or a video essay or a commentary or a roast or something on that nature, it's totally fine. But if it's something like this where I'm not 100% sure, I would like you to just at least DM me on Twitter and just give me a context of what it's about so I can get my approval, because I'm not too sure what you mean. But yeah, like YouTube poops, video essays, and so on, totally cool to use my footage. Just, I've seen a couple people take my videos and actually just put the full video on their channel, and I'm not really a big fan of that, to be honest, because that's just taking my work and trying to monetize it on a platform without any new context, because I'm a big firm believer of fair use and parody and so on. So as long as you have something different to say about it with the content, then you're okay. But if you're just like taking my footage and just slapping it on there, I'm gonna have issues with that. Anyway, so there's that. But thank you so much for that comment. What are your top 5 favorite film directors? really, it's Steven. It's for me. It's always George Lucas. He's my personal hero. Peter Jackson, Steven Spielberg. I gotta think of some others that I like. I like Todd Phillips, especially after Joker. I like Scorsese. I like J.A. Bayona when he can direct a good movie. J.J. Abrams on occasion. Oh god, I'm gonna have to think of a few others. Oh, I like Joe Dante. I like John Landis. Those filmmakers, I'm big fans of. Frank Darabont. There's a couple of really good directors out there. Have I seen Velma and getting a second season? I do not care. I fucking hate Velma. Yeah, I've seen that one, Tammy. I've seen that YouTube poop. It's actually really funny. Hey, Dad, good to see you. Also got a watch party. We should cover. That'd be cool. That or the 2003 Peter Pan. That is on my to-do list to rewatch that. That'd be a fun one to do. I'd really have fun with that. Have I seen Hellboy? I have not seen Hellboy. I kind of missed out on that franchise. Ever thought about? Oh, this is actually a good question from Nobody123. Very good question. I've thought about the idea of some sort of BigJackFilms video game. I don't know how I would pull it off because I know nothing about game developing, but I think it'd be cool to see sort of a side-scroller, a classic Super Nintendo Capcom-esque side-scroller game that involves my character and just like interacting with all the characters I've had before and have them be sort of bosses. So like Cobra Commander would be a boss, Captain Roth would be a boss, Gabler would be like the ultimate big boss at the final end of the game. I thought of something like that. A BigJackFilms video game would be actually pretty solid, especially if like a fan creates it. I think that'd be pretty awesome. I always like fan creation, so I always like fan trailers of my work. I actually have thought about the idea. I'd love to see people do AMVs based on my content. I'd love to see fan trailers. I'd love to see YouTube poops. I always like to see fan made work. So if you could come up with a BigJackFilms video game, please share. Please come up with something. I'll play it. I'll play the hell out of it. That sounds fun, essentially. Yeah, it's just like that. I was going to be about Kong King of the Apes with the clips of your video, separate video. Yeah, sure. If you want, like, just send it to me, and I'll probably get a good laugh out of it. I've seen the news. Yeah, I don't care. Have you thought about doing the top 30 worst films? Okay, I don't have 30 worst movies. I don't have movies that I necessarily think are just the worst. Like, if anything, maybe a top 5, but nothing in the near future. I think, if anything, I would like to review those bad movies because there's a couple of really, really bad ones that are on the list, essentially. What's my favorite movie special effect? Is that in terms of just stop motion or suitmation, just like certain types? I mean, I'm a big fan of stop motion. I always like the Harryhausen movies. I really like suitmation. I love model work. I've really been getting into miniatures more, and just miniatures where you can just blow them the fuck up and they'd look really cool. I love animatronics, big giant animatronics, totally my thing. Stuff like that is sort of up my alley, basically. Yeah, it looks like utter shit. It looks awful. I'm probably not going to go. I'm not going to watch it. I want to see what the reviews say first. This is one of those movies where I'm like, I'm going to see what the critical drinker says. I'm going to see what Mueller says. I'm going to see what Doug says. I had hope for it, but they fucked it up. They've already fucked it up, and I do not care. It's just, I'm so done with those live action remakes. Hey, Jack, big fan. Lately, I've been conceptualizing King Kong parody titled Kid Kong, and I'm hoping to potentially get it started a year and have it released by the end of the year. Ooh, okay, Cameron. Looking forward to seeing that. That sounds interesting. I think there was something like that planned in the 70s and 80s. Just never got off the ground. I know there was a Baby Kong planned, but never Kid Kong. That's an interesting concept. Other than following the basic plot, added extra elements. Also called original. Carl Dunham's name is changed to Earl Dunham, inspired by Jeff's last name, Dunham. I see what you mean. That's cute. What do you think of James Gunn directing Superman Legacy? Well, I kind of knew it was coming. If anything, I'd like to see Brainiac. My favorite Superman villain outside of Lex Luthor is Bizarro, the anti-Superman. I like to see that. But shit, bring back Nuclear Man. I like Nuclear Man, but Yeah, Superman's villains, I think, need more spotlight because they're not as well known as, say, Batman's Rogues Gallery. Essentially, holy crap, we're getting a lot of comics or comments. Oh, thank you so much. I've not watched What If. I doubt you care about this on the Oscars for this year. Yeah, I didn't watch it. You know what's funny? I didn't watch the Oscars. You know what I was doing Sunday night? I went to see a new movie, and you'll see my review of it midnight tonight, which is cool. I'll do a broadcast stream on that end for the film, so you'll see what that's all about. Favorite movie of 2022? Probably The Batman was my favorite movie of that year. That and Dragon Ball Superheroes. I didn't watch many movies last year, so those are the top two for me. Hi Sean, good to see you. Speaking of YouTube poops, I'm having 4 next month. One will be completed unlisted. It's for Cog Skull Island. Hey, I'm all for YouTube poops. If you could come up with something funny, man, do a YouTube poop on my show. I'd love it. I think that'd be really funny. Have opinions on Batman Forever changed since 2012? No. I mean, I still like it. I still think it is a good Batman movie. I mean, my opinions change on it being my favorite. I mean, it's in the top. I would say, if anything, Batman Forever is in the top 5 favorite Batman movies. Or at least like the top, like the very close, because it's like really between 3 as my personal favorites. I love Batman Returns. That is hands down the best. I love the Batman, and I really like Mask of the Phantasm. But I think Batman Forever would be number 4. Number 5 would be The Dark Knight, because I love The Dark Knight. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel like the Nolan trilogy is a tad overrated, a little too overpraised. I still enjoy, and what's great is like each era represents a different era of Batman for me. Batman Returns is the best because it's the perfect tone of what I look for Batman. It is the better Tim Burton film. It is creepy. It is dark. It is a great Christmas movie. It's just an overall great film. The Batman is the closest we're getting to like a live action adaptation purely of the detective and the animated series. Mask of the Phantasm is one of the better stories. Batman Forever is my childhood Batman. That is the one that takes me right back to being a kid loving Batman. And then The Dark Knight is more of the Batman of me for an adult. As like, that was the Batman movie that like finally said, okay, comic book movies can be like way realistic and serious. But those are probably my top 5 favorites of the franchise. Are you excited to see Ape versus Mecha Ape? I'm so far behind on all the Asylum and Kong ripoffs. I should just do a marathon at this point and just talk about how bad they are, because I have plans to go back to the Asylum someday. I have plans to go into more debt with those motherfuckers. I have seen the trailer. I'm interested in it. In fact, Brad and I are thinking about doing an opening night on that. We do want to go see it and check it out. Let's see here. Here's another interesting question about the BigJackFilms game. What kind of powers and abilities would you want to have for your character? If you watch the show's lore, I would say like it's sort of like a tournament fighter where you press different combos to do different attacks. It wouldn't be like Final Fantasy where you have to like pick and choose your attacks. I mean, the main attacks would be, anything with the power glove is essential, where he can shoot stuff. I would say the sword of light, it has really one major attack, which is sort of like the Wind Scar. It's called the Sacred Strike, where it's very much like the Wind Scar. I imagine he would use a Kamehameha. He would probably come up with, he'd probably do like a couple different moves from like Street Fighter. I think if anything, like I came up with I have this idea where my character has a new technique and he mostly uses it to destroy bad movies. But once I get to another bad movie, I'm probably going to utilize it. This idea that he's been creating a new technique, which is very much like the special beam cannon. But I won't get to that yet. But there's some ideas I have if I did do a game. I imagine he would just, obviously jump. Like, imagine his movements being very similar to Aladdin on the Super Nintendo, because it is my favorite game. So the idea is like he would move like Aladdin and so on, like jump, and it'd be like a platformer and so on. Like there'd be different levels to it. And I think each level should be like based on a film too. So, or a film I've covered. Did the Kid Kong actually giant human kid? Oh, okay, interesting. So would that make all the human characters monkeys? All right. Hey Jack, do you plan to see Shazam: Fury of the Gods? No, I didn't even see the first one. I'm more interested in The Flash. Why? Because it has Batman, and I will only watch. Like, if you put Batman in a movie, I'll go see it. If you put Spider-Man in a movie, I'll go see it. And that's really it with Marvel and DC for me. If you put Batman in it, I'll go see it. And it has to be Batman in the costume doing cool shit. It can't just be like a little cameo or Bruce Wayne because we don't have the rights to the costume. Like, it has to be him in the suit. What are your top favorite Disney movies? Okay, this is tough. If you're gonna count 2D, like, I'm more a fan of their 2D animated library. Like, my top favorites in their 2D library. Number 1 is Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 2 is The Lion King. Everything else, it's things like Bambi, Dumbo, Robin Hood. Those are the essential classics for me for Walt Disney. Oh God, I'm trying to think of some other ones. I watched Pinocchio after I watched the live action movie, and I just think, God, it still holds up. That is one of the good ones. Anything Walt touched was good, except for Song of the South. Oof, that's boring. But things like, I'm trying to think of some other animated Disney films, like just in terms of their hand-drawn department, that are my favorites. I really like Rescuers Down Under. I would say my favorite Mickey film that they did was The Prince of the Pauper, which I thought about covering. It's a little short. It's a short film, but that movie does not get the recognition as it deserves as the best Mickey Mouse cartoon. That is my favorite, is The Prince of the Pauper. If we're going to count Pixar, it's definitely the first Toy Story. It's A Bug's Life. Anything from their first wave. So like A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, stuff like that's good. Live action, probably the Pirates movies for sure. Mighty Joe Young, The Three Musketeers. Those are some essentials for me. I can't think of any in Walt's ton that I necessarily liked. Mary Poppins is okay. I really want. No, there's some I've actually not seen. Like, I haven't seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and I should, because I know Angela Lansbury is in it and she's great. Just trying to think of some other ones. Like, I'm very picky with Disney. There's not many that I could say. Like, I like a lot of them, but there's so much of it I just can't keep track. But those are some of my personal favorites. Holy crap, we're getting a lot of comments. Damn. Hello, Alex. Good to see you. Beauty and the Beast. That's a good one. I do like that one. That's a decent one. Thoughts on the rumor of Space Godzilla being the villain? Okay, so I'm okay with that, but I think that's the last time we should do any kind of clone Godzilla stuff. I think we should move on to other monsters. You know what? A lot of people, I think I've heard rumors that Gigan's in this movie. Fuck, I want Megalon. I actually ironically like Godzilla versus Megalon. I know it's extremely boring and made in like 3 weeks, and there's so much stock footage and shit, but the premise is nice. I love the new Godzilla suit for that. I love Megalon as a character. I like they brought back Gigan, and you know what? I fucking love Jet Jaguar. I love Jet Jaguar. Legendary should do that, and he takes off the mask and it's Bryan Cranston. I just want that. I just want Bryan Cranston to be Jet Jaguar. I actually really do like the Black Cauldron. John Hurt's really good in that. Let's see here. Hi, Darius. Good to see you. Dr. Waluigi, that's a good one. Will you review the first 4 Indiana Jones? I do not have time for those. I do not have time to talk about those movies when they come out. Opening night, maybe. I wouldn't mind covering them all as an opening night. If you want like an Indiana Jones opening night marathon, we could do that. Just donate to Patreon. That's like what? $20 on Patreon. If you want me to cover all 4 Indiana Jones films for opening nights, I can do that. I'm in for that. Because then I could go and see the new movie, even though I kind of know it's probably going to be a stinker. Hunchback is my favorite Disney movie. Good boy, Anthony. Good. Okay, so something I kind of thought about. If I cover the Hunchback, which I do want to do, I definitely at one point want to cover the second one, because that is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And the way I want to open it is doing a full-on cover of Hellfire, but instead of it being about Frollo being lustful for Esmeralda, I want it to be me being so raged by the sequel. I think is how I want to do it, and I will get a copy of the movie, and I will literally put it in a Hellfire. Like, that's how bad I hate it. I want to do something grand if I ever talk about Hunchback 2, because that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. One of the worst films I've ever seen. Megalon is fun. Yeah. Favorite independent movies. Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I'll say one of them kind of is that I'm going to be talking about later tonight. So there's that. Independent films. I mean, define independent. Do you mean like they were independently made and a studio picked them up? Or do you mean like made not by any studio, but just by a group of random people? That's hard to pick because I haven't seen that many independent films. I mean, if you want to go basic, I love fan films. Fan films are my favorite type of independent films because they're fans that actually give a shit about the material and don't try to butcher it because of certain current trends and anything. So there's that. Have I ever thought about Peter Jackson doing the next Jurassic Park? Nah. No, you'll see my opinion on Jurassic Park when we get to the final set of Legacy reviews, which we're going to start filming in the summer. I actually thought about that. Like, I thought about, like, if you guys want me to do, I thought about doing both an opening night on Jurassic Park for its 30th anniversary, but I've also thought about doing a watch-along. If you guys want me to do a watch-along on Jurassic Park, let me know. We could actually do all 6 films. I'd have fun with that. Let's see here. What kind of questions are you going to ask Andy Serkis at Comic-Con? I don't know. I really just want to just try and meet the guy, but that's about it. I'm not having any high expectations at Comic-Con. Let's see here. You ever see Basket Case or whatever? So you put the Sega on top of the 32X. Okay. I have seen Basket Case. It's a cute little movie. Personally, my favorite, I think, is Roger Rabbit. That's a good one. I mean, here's the thing. I only discovered Roger Rabbit. I mean, I've only watched it maybe about 10 years ago, the first time. I kind of skipped out on it for multiple reasons. One, I didn't grow up with it. And 2, I never had a copy of it. So I only watched it recently, like about 10, 15 years ago. I liked it. But, I mean, I think it's because I grew up with Space Jam first. That was sort of my Roger Rabbit, essentially. Does Brain Dead count as independent? I would say Brain Dead, Meet the Feebles, and Bad Taste, which are the first 3 Peter Jackson films. Yes, those are independent. I do like those movies. Do you think the OG Power Rangers based their Megazord battles on the old Godzilla movies? I mean, probably. I mean, you gotta remember, it's stock footage from Kyoto Sentai Zyuranger, which was like their 15th season in Japan. So they were already on the formula. I think the reason why the OG Power Rangers feels like that is because of the designs, the theming of Zyuranger, which is dinosaur themed. Now, 1993, the year of the dinosaur, you know, because of Jurassic Park just taking over everything. You had the Mario movie, you had Carnosaur, you had different dinosaur attractions everywhere. Dinosaurs took off. And after the wave of Jurassic Park throughout the summer of 93, then September 93, TV networks are like, hey, kids, you like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park? Well, what's better than dinosaurs? Robot dinosaurs. Yeah, so watch our goofy show that has people in spandex doing martial arts like the Ninja Turtles, and then they get into giant robot dinosaurs and make bigger robots. So I think it's just more so that the timing of its release is what made it successful and kind of akin to those films. Like, obviously, the Dragon Zord is just Mechagodzilla. Rocky 5's okay, I would say. Well, I'll say this. You'll see it tonight. Ever heard of any... No, I have not. Thoughts on Disney's Hercules? It's okay. I liked it when it came out. I remember being kind of hyped for it. But the thing is, it's funny because at the same time, I was watching the Hercules and Xena TV show. And I even remember the animated movie. In fact, that's one I wouldn't mind covering. Because not many people talk about that animated Herc and Xena movie. But I did remember Hercules just had a huge comeback in terms of pop culture in the 90s. Because you had the Disney film and then you had the Universal show, the Herc and Xena TV show. And that Disney's Hercules is okay. It's fun. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's kind of dab in the middle. Like the cast is great. Danny DeVito. Is John Goodman Zeus? I swear to God that was John Goodman as Zeus. Because if it is, that's great. But James Woods is a good villain. Like, it's a decent film. I will say it might be a little too overrated, but I still think it's good. Although it gave birth to one of the best Disney crossovers, pre-Kingdom Hearts, mind you, which is Hercules and the Arabian Night, where they crossed over with Aladdin. It was also the last time we saw the whole Aladdin group in terms of their continuity in their final chapters, because it was right after King of Thieves and after they settled down and everything. So now that Hercules shows up, it's like they were trying to essentially build that as a startup. And I love the fact that, pre-Kingdom Hearts, we had that crossover, which was great. I should have brought that more up in my Ready Player One episode. I might do that for part 3. Oh God, no. I don't know who that is. Rip Torn played Zeus. Okay, Rip Torn. I don't know who Rip Torn is. Have I seen that Disney's making a King Kong show on Disney Plus? Yeah. It's much like the Skull Island show that they were planning. Once I see a trailer, once I see the cameras roll, I'll believe it. That's my philosophy. About the Disney King Kong video, personally, I think you and Huey could have gone more into creative films considering Disney's track record. Yeah, we were on a time crunch. The problem was that to be honest, we were already packing too much in. And there was a moment we had to say to ourselves, we got to cut some stuff out, because this is going to take if we make it too long, it's going to take forever to put out. And I was already on a tight schedule, so we compromised and we just put it out into 2 parts. BugJackFilms. That's if I ever cover A Bug's Life, I'll just call it BugJackFilms. Okay. Have I seen the original Invincible Man? Oh, Invisible Man. I love that one. Claude Rains is great. In that. I do at some point want to return to the Universal Monsters. I just got to find time for it. I have not watched Last Airbender. God, Rip Torn. A lot of people know Rip Torn. Okay. What was one creature in Cog 76 that should have appeared other than dinosaurs? Well, the giant snake's good. I think a pterodactyl should have been another thing for Kong to at least fight to some extent. At least. Do you know what the answers to the meaning of life and everything is? And don't you dare say 42. But I don't even get that myself. Meaning of life to me is really just getting up every day and have something worth getting up for. Getting up for nothing just makes you lazy. I'd say in a way life's like a video game and life's like a casino. You never want to leave empty-handed on anything. You want to get up every day and make it worthwhile. You want to get up every day and never leave it empty-handed. You also, if anything, if the game's too hard, your only choice sometimes is to grab a game genie or just hack into it. That's how I see life. It's like a game. It's like a computer. It's like a casino. They are, most of the time, you're going to lose. It's like they are rigged to shit, and they are just... it's very hard to make it out there in the world. And sometimes your only option, unfortunately, and it's not to say it's a good thing or a bad thing, is to cheat sometimes. Is all I'll say about that. I don't have really much, I'm not much of a philosopher of life, but I'd say if anything, treat it like a casino and treat every week like a casino, and make sure you never leave a week empty-handed. At least you want to go into the week from Monday to Friday and come out of it saying, I had a good time, and it was worth the effort. That's all I'll say. Be productive. Be productive either on your own strengths, helping others, or making the world a better place, is all I can say. Thoughts on Excalibur? Love that movie. That's a great film. Love Excalibur. Would you ever do a Godzilla fan film? I've been tinkering with that idea a little bit. Not 100% if I would, although there's some stuff coming up that might allude to that, but I will not say what. Have I seen American Werewolf in London? Yeah, I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen it fully, but it's a decent film. even though the movie isn't out yet, what are your current thoughts on the new Mario movie? I actually am very optimistic about it. I know a lot of people are going in like, oh, it's going to suck. It's going to be awful. I'm kind of optimistic because I find it kind of ironic that it's coming out 30 years since the first attempt at a Mario movie, which means if this does not work, it might take another 30 to 60 years before we see another Mario movie. So take it at what it is. I'm going to go into it and enjoy myself. Me and Brad are thinking about doing an opening night on it. We want to go see it. I want to get out into the movies more in the cinema. But I enjoyed it. I say I enjoy it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm liking how it's looking. Do you have any advice for filmmakers getting funding for their films? Ooh, okay. From experience, my films, the rule in Hollywood is to never put your own money in any film. But after George Lucas self-financed the entire Star Wars trilogy, you have to wonder to yourself, maybe self-financing is the better way to go. Your best bet, if you are trying to fund it independently, you have three options. You could Indiegogo campaign it. You have to have a good pitch for it. You have to have a good mindset of how you want to present it to invest money in it. But your best bet is to add up how much you think it's going to cost. Not a guarantee, but what you guess it would cost. Do your research. What you need for equipment, what you need for software, what you need for props, costumes. Find ways on how to build all this stuff first and add up your investments. Once you have an estimate of how much you think it's going to cost, then just start a little job and start saving your money. Once you have enough money, start buying shit. Start buying the shit you need. Start buying the shit you want. And then eventually, once you have everything there, then you can start casting. Then you can start looking into people to work with you. That's the way to go. Us here, to be honest, when we make a project, we don't really have an estimated budget. But we mostly added up after the fact. Like, I didn't know how much Kong cost until after the film came out. Because every project is a learning curve. Every project is an essay. Every project is a film course, a school test, whatever. And Kong cost me about $4,000 altogether out of 6 years of work. I should mention that part 3 and all 3 parts in general have now become, I'm not fucking kidding, my most expensive production to date. It has now essentially become twice as much as Kong was. Really think about that. These 3-part reviews, this 10th anniversary special, has now cost double what Kong was. That's saying something. So for those wondering about part 3, it is coming. There's no release date yet. It's, I would say, the least mid-April. The latest, it's going to be a summer blockbuster. And I'm not counting on any rewards for it. I'm not counting on any type of, potential profits. Because I think personally, no matter how much it makes, no matter how much it's received, that $8,000 for all 3 parts was damn worth it. And I had fun making it. It is a pain in the ass. It is a stressful time. But it's worth spending my hard-earned money on because it allows my art to be out there and my art to be created and come to life. And I love it. So I'm really excited to see what you guys think of part 3 because, also I should say part 3 is going to probably end up being about 2 hours long. You add it all up, you're going to have something as long as the Snyder Cut. This is a huge endeavor. I am surprised I've been able to get it done in the amount of time I've had. It's insane. So, yeah, let's see. I've been thinking about that a while. I'm a creative person making custom designs. I want to make a custom character design for you. Oh, thank you so much. Man, just, games, trailers, YouTube poops, video essays. I love that shit. I love it. For me, it's essentially, look, I see a lot of video essays on different creators, both good and bad. No matter what, it's free. I find it's a very successful thing to do. I think it's absolutely okay to do that because the ultimate winner in this is not just the content creator making it. It's also whatever they cover is essentially free promotion. It's a way to get more success. I think everybody wins in that scenario. So honestly, really appreciate that, man. Just like y'all fans are the best. And I do apologize I'm not doing as much as I should be. Life at 31 has been pretty crazy. And life at 31 has created new challenges on this crazy adventure we call life. And I'm just so thankful to have you guys all on board with this shit. I really, really thank you guys so much. Honestly, bottom of my heart. Yeah, I know. I actually, I can't remember. I haven't seen the full cut. I've seen it in parts. But yeah, just that's really about it. I think we're gonna call it for here right now because I do have to run. I have to get back to work. But I do thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys are interested in helping us out and supporting us, go check out our Patreon. Just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content, as well as other special features. Definitely go check out our, definitely send us super chats. Definitely check out our videos. Join us tonight at midnight. We're going to do another sort of broadcast stream. I probably won't be on much of the chat, but you can support us there as well. You are going to see our review at last of 65. I finally saw it. I saw it Sunday night. That's why I didn't watch the Academy Awards. But y'all can check it out there. It'll be at midnight tonight. You'll get to see my thoughts on this latest dinosaur sci-fi adventure. A lot of people have been asking me about it, so I went to go see it. And I'm going to try to go in the movies more. But tune in. So until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, saying we're in year 3 of the 2020s. I know people are pretty damn depressed and stressed right now, and even I'm a little bit stressed with this part 3. But look, just don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your ambitions. Don't give up on your vision. Do it however you can, no matter the cost. And as David Wenham said in 300, we Spartans are the descendant of Hercules himself, taught never to retreat, never to surrender. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, and maybe we'll game next week. I don't know. I'll see you guys later, and I'll also see you guys at Comic-Con this weekend. Take it easy.